Here is the continuous English narrative based on your story, rewritten to flow as a single, emotional piece, a desperate cry and a glimmer of hope in my world. Sounds never truly fade into the darkness. They are urgent signals, faint cries for help that echo in the dead of night. But no sound has ever haunted me as much as that scream. It wasn't an angry growl or a pained whimper. It was a cry of pure, absolute desperation, emanating from a place where life and death hung in the balance. I was getting ready for bed when my phone buzzed. A message from a local resident near the city's junkyard. The text was short but heavy with meaning. I hear a small dog screaming. The sound is getting fainter, but I can't find where it is. My heart pounded. That area was a maze of colossal garbage bags, a place where small creatures were often abandoned like worthless trash. I couldn't hesitate. I threw on my jacket, and my familiar motorcycle sped off into the night. The cold wind bit at my face, but a fire had ignited within me. Arriving at the scene, the stench of decay and hopelessness was overwhelming. Piles of trash bags were stacked high, forming dark, terrifying alleys. The streetlights flickered, just enough for me to see the jagged shadows, just enough for me to realize I was alone in a different world, one created by humans to destroy life. I turned off my engine, standing in silence to listen. All I could hear was the wind whistling through the plastic bags and the chirping of insects. The scream was gone. A feeling of dread and disappointment crept in. Had I arrived too late? Had that poor soul already slipped into silence? Don't give up, I told myself. I began walking deeper into the junkyard, my flashlight scanning every nook and cranny. 1 minute, 2 minutes, then 15 passed. The deeper I went, the more unbearable the smell became, and the more fragile my hope felt. I started to doubt. Maybe the person was mistaken. Maybe the scream was just an illusion born of exhaustion. And then, a very faint, very weak sound reached my ears. Whine. Whine. It wasn't a scream, but a cry almost too quiet to hear. My heart leaped into my throat. I stopped, holding my breath, and listened intently. The cry came again, a little clearer this time, and it sounded closer. I followed the sound, past a pile of scrap metal, to a large, rusty dumpster. My flashlight beam pierced the darkness inside. Amidst a jumble of bottles, boxes, and filthy paper, a tiny creature lay. It was a puppy, its white fur caked with mud and grease. It lay curled up and trembling, its eyes tightly shut. The most horrifying thing was its legs. They were bound tightly with a rough piece of rope, so constricted it couldn't move. It had been abandoned, deliberately tied up, left to die a slow and agonizing death. My blood ran cold. My rage mixed with an overwhelming sadness. Who could be so cruel? Who could look into those eyes and feel nothing? I pushed the garbage aside, gently reaching in. The puppy didn't open its eyes. It lay there, completely motionless, as if it had already accepted its fate. I carefully lifted it, feeling its small, cold, limp body in my hands, and tears welled up in my eyes. I placed it on a cleaner patch of ground and quickly used a knife to cut the rope. When the rope snapped, I saw deep marks on its skin, bleeding slightly. That pain wasn't just physical. It was the pain of betrayal, of utter loneliness. There was no time to waste. I took a bottle of water from my backpack and slowly dripped it into its mouth. The puppy's body stirred, its tiny tongue licking the cool liquid. Its eyes slowly opened. They no longer held despair, but a look of surprise, a little confusion. It was looking at me, a stranger who had appeared in its darkest moment. I held it tight, speaking softly. "You're safe now. Everything is going to be all right on the way home." I was a nervous wreck. The puppy lay quietly in a small crate lined with a soft blanket, not making a sound. I looked in the rearview mirror and saw its eyes wide open, curious about everything. Maybe this was the first time it had ever felt such peace, the rebirth of a soul back home. I rushed to prepare a warm bath. My makeshift clinic was ready. Though I had rescued many animals before cleaning, this dog felt different. Its white fur was matted with mud, dirt, and the filth of the junkyard, I gently placed it in the warm water. The puppy shivered slightly, but didn't resist. I reassured it with soft words, "Don't be scared. This will feel good." The special shampoo lathered its fur, washing away the grime. I used a soft brush to untangle the matted hair. The water in the tub quickly turned a murky black. I had to change the water 2-3 times. The cleaner it got, the more I saw its hidden beauty, its small face, its dark, shiny eyes, and its tiny nose. It wasn't just a dog, it was a pure, adorable white poodle. After the bath, I used a soft towel and a blow dryer to dry it. The warmth of the air seemed to relax it. It lay still, obediently, its eyes half closed. When its coat was completely dry, I couldn't hold back my emotions. It was back. From a trembling, filthy creature, it was now a pristine, pure white dog. Its beauty was like a rebirth, a testament that no matter where you are abandoned or how cruelly you are treated, life can return in full radiance. I hugged it tight, feeling the powerful life force within its small body. It was just a puppy, but it had taught me a profound lesson about resilience, a family, and laughter. The dog's life began a new chapter. I named him Biang Fluff. I introduced Biang to my 2 other dogs, Mighty and Doe. At first, they were curious. They sniffed Biang, looking at him with suspicion. Biang, in turn, was timid and hid behind my legs. But after just a few days, all barriers disappeared. Mighty and Doe, with their gentle natures, accepted Biang as a new member of the family. I gave Biang his own small crate, a soft bed, and a few toys. He loved the small teddy bear. He would hug it and play with it alone. Sometimes, he would carry it around the house, as if it were his best friend. Seeing him so happy, all my fatigue vanished. Now, every morning, I wake up to the joyful sounds of 3 dogs. They play together, sometimes fighting playfully over a toy, and other times curling up together on the rug for a nap. Biang is no longer an abandoned dog. He is part of a happy family. From a desperate scream in a junkyard, Biang found love and peace. His story is a reminder that no matter how dark the places life throws us into, there is always a glimmer of hope, a hand reaching out to save us. And that is the true meaning of a life well lived, a journey from despair to hope, from being forgotten to being loved.